Welcome to Chapter 11 of Social Media Marketing. This is Sean Canary, your professor. In Chapter 11, we talk about using social media for helping to develop and launch new products. So, how do we use social media principles when designing and developing products? Insights from what consumers are saying about a brand or products on various social channels can directly inform the product development processes. Remember, in last week's video assignment, I showed you Hootsuite and how to set up a listening device, listening for certain keywords and listening for things that people are saying. Now, this can be developed and built into your product development process to help you further enhance products, change really the 4 P's of marketing when you talk about the product, the pricing, the placement or distribution of the product, and also the promotional elements of the product itself. So really insights can be gained directly from social media listening. However, in addition to using social media as a source of information, many social media principles can also be applied to product design and development. And one of the biggest ways to do this is to build virality into products to make them social. So when we talk about virality, we talk about network externalities, all right? If enjoyment is increasing with the number of other people who are using the product, we call this a positive network externality. If your enjoyment is decreasing with the number of people who are using the product, we call this a negative network externality. The formula is shown here as U equals I plus A multiplied by E. So if the product has no network externality, A equals 0. So if it's a positive network, A is greater than 0, and if it's a negative network, A is less than 0. So how does this help with building virality in the products? The social media principle of building virality into products to make them inherently social means that you want to maximize your positive network and minimize your negative network. So you want A to be as large as possible so that others' contribution to your utility is as great as possible. If A cannot be positive in the context of your product, and if it could be negative, you want it to be as close to 0 as possible. Incorporating social features with the sole purpose of building in virality, for example, video games and the social media add-ons to make video games more enticing. Develop positive externality through promotional campaigns, rewarding sharing behavior, encouraging referrals. A lot of contests ask for people to share contests within the contest itself. And ideally, refer a friend incentives should be increasing with the number of other people who adopt new product as a consequence of that referral. So how do we stimulate demand for launch? Well, if we're Beyonce or somebody famous, we of course can leverage our existing base of fans to help spread the word. But what if you're a brand no one has heard of, much like your small businesses you're preparing a social media plan for? The priority in these situations is to generate awareness. You need to target consumers to hear about you before you can do anything else. This is where things like social media targeting, using different targeting methods, can help you identify and amplify your message. Before launch, you want to identify a relatively small set of target customers who are most likely to appreciate the new product or service and have characteristics that make them a good word-of-mouth transmitters, meaning that they're hubs or pumps. And you can target these individuals using Facebook's various targeting methods. You want to reach out to these people and encourage them to try new products or service. And you want to do this before anyone else gets to try the product or service. This helps put them on a pedestal and make them feel special about it. You want to use this alpha test as a as a way to solicit their feedback and incorporate it before you beta launch that product. When launching, you want to develop and implement a positive network based incentive to get your seed customers working to pull in new customers. As new customers come in, you want to treat them like the seeds, get their feedback, and encourage them to acquire new customers and so on. In the post-launch phase, you want to repeat the steps as more new customers come in and do some post-launch analysis that focus on which seeds over the pre-launch and launch periods were most effective. You want to pull more customers in, and you want to spend more and or using the product service more. So what you really want to do is find these seeds, find these hubs, and help educate them and push them into pulling more customers and spending more. This is where influencer marketing can be so important. That's it for this week. Remember, next week you have the last round of the Mimic Simulations due. This is where all of you that did not sign up for Mimic Simulations need to turn in your 4-week calendar for social media posts. Until then, if you need anything, please email me, and have a great week.